Royals baseball from Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. It's a beautiful day to be at the ballpark, and it's a good day for a sweep as the Royals go for their first of the season against the Minnesota Twins. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the ballpark with Rex Hudler. I'm Ryan Lefevre. Joel Goldberg will be coming up in just a moment. So the Royals have won a couple of close games with the Twins. One key in this series, Hud, has been the middle of the order guys hitting like middle of the order guys.
There was a few missing ingredients the first half of the season when it came to winning games, no doubt about that. But one of the main was the key hits, timely hits. Hey, look, it didn't matter if it's a doinker. It doesn't matter one bit. 2 runs scored in game 1. That opened up the floodgates, and all of a sudden the 2 veteran guys, Salvi and Duda, taking care of it. Last night it was that 2-run shot. The way it's going right now, the veterans are starting to come through and they're getting the timely hits. They're going for that sweep. They're going to need some more of that today.
And the Royals have pitched well for the most part. They'll have Brad Keller on the mound today, and when we come back, Joel will talk about Twin starter Jake Odorizzi.
And 12, and now a veteran in the major leagues set to make an appearance against the Royals. This is his 150th career game, and he's had mixed results against the Royals. Pitched well against them last year, and mixed results overall this year. And so when you talk about Odorizzi, really had a rough start to the season, but is pitching better now, so we'll see how he does for the first time against the Royals this year. But Odorizzi is a guy that really struggled early on. First 12 starts of the year, allowed 14 home runs. That's 2 home runs per 9 innings. But in his last 8 starts, 2 home runs allowed. That is it talking to some of the folks around the Twins, they say that recent mechanics that he changed have helped him pitch on a straighter line to the plate. Has had 3 good starts and a lot of strikeouts, and then had a bad last outing. So he'll be looking to right the ship. And on the other side, Brad Keller had struggles in his last 2 starts, and he, of course, has had a brilliant year trying to pick things up. We'll talk about Keller next.
To a 7-start losing streak, and today it's Brad Keller making the start for the Royals, and he's had a couple of rough starts going into today. And in this era of home runs and launch angles, Brad Keller is getting a lot of ground balls. He's only given up 1 home run so far this year. Let's take a look at our Toyota League leaderboard, and he is amongst the elite when it comes to ground ball percentage.
You know what? Really impressed with Keller's ability to attack the zone down. I mean, I love his tempo. He's getting that ball, and he's going right after guys. You know, he also has a nice little breaker ball over the top, but that's conducive to the ground balls. Conducive. He's getting them, and it's getting outs. He's a good athlete, but he's letting his defense play. That is so important when it comes to getting outs at this level, and he's found it so far. Hopefully today he'll be able to find the same ingredients and get out of that little funk he's been in.
Royals 2 starters, Duffy and Junis, have combined to give up 2 runs in 11 innings. But how about the bullpen led by Brian Flynn last night? 3 scoreless innings, and then Willie Peralta got another chance and got the save. Every ticket played gives back to Missouri schools, so play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. And by Chevrolet, the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. Find yours at your Kansas City area Chevy dealers. Royals are 5-3 against the Minnesota Twins this year. They have won 2 series with Minnesota. They go for a sweep today. The Twins have lost 8 consecutive games on the road. The lineups and the first pitch are coming up next. And Slugger with the world's biggest glove down there for the ceremonial first pitch. Future Royals Hall of Famer Billy Butler down there with current Royals Hall of Famers. On a great day to be at Kauffman Stadium. 84 degrees. Nothing but sunshine. And the Royals have won 2 close games with Minnesota in this series. 6-5 on Friday night and then 4-2 last night. Here's the Minnesota Twins batting order. A couple of switch hitters are out of the lineup against Brad Keller, Jorge Polanco, and Robbie Grossman. So Ere Adrianza will be at shortstop. And Logan Morrison, Kansas City kid, is back from the disabled list today. He'll be at first base and he will bat 5th. Facing Brad Keller, who got a nice mental break during the All-Star break. Had some trouble throwing strikes in his previous 2 starts. He had 9 walks in his last 2 starts. And today takes on the Twins for the 2nd time this year.
That's right. And a great shot right there behind, bringing us right on the field, right behind him. That's an excellent shot. Now his key, no doubt about it, no freebies. All right, go ahead and attack the zone, get ahead of hitters. That's important for every pitcher. But the 9 walks the last 2 starts, that's got to stop. Forward around the horn, Royals defense. Bonifacio last night made a clutch running catch, showing some good range in the outfield this year so far. Like him out there. On the infield, Drew Butera. He's getting a chance. His 32nd start today. He's 2 for 8 and throwing would-be base stealers out. Giving Salvi a break, letting him DH.
There's our crew chief, Mark Wegner. He'll be at second base today. And Royals dugout favorite John Tumpane will call the balls and strikes.
There you go, John. Try to keep everybody in the house today.
This is Family Fun Day Sunday, after all.
That's right.
And even though the Royals have won the first 2 games of the series, they've had a tough time holding down Joe Mauer. Mauer's been good against the Royals in this series and the season series. Our Kubota Power stats, he is hitting .500. 12 for 24. He has the second most hits all time against the Royals with 245, trailing former Twin and HUD's former hitting coach Rod Carew, who has 263.
What a great guy. I miss Rod. Haven't seen him in a while. Doing good after his heart transplant and his liver. He had some physical issues, but he's doing well now.
Fastball in for a strike to Mauer, who's the designated hitter today. In this series, he is 5 out of 9 with a double, and that was a leadoff double last night, which turned into a run. Jacob Junis really steadied himself last night. He gave up a double and a single to the first 2 batters. Minnesota had a lead 2 hitters into the game, and then Minnesota did not score again until the 8th. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Not messing around. Getting right after it. One of the most impressive things about Keller, in my opinion, and in the opinion of Ned Yost, is his tempo and how quick he gets the ball, and it just really makes him look like he's confident, and here it comes. Defense keeps him on their toes, especially for a ground ball specialist that he is.
Just outside. Butera tried to pull it back into the strike zone.
Just a bit off.
Got him with a fastball up.
Keller just going right at one of the best hitters on the Twins team with fastballs, and he knew it was coming. Mauer did, but that elevation like that, it looks good, but by the time you swing, you're missing it. Can't catch up to it.
And now Eddie Rosario, who has driven in 2 in this series. 62 for the year. Keller got a piece of that, so it makes it easy for Escobar, although Escobar was positioned perfectly up the middle. 2 down. 1-6-3.
Had them play just the way they wanted to. Esky waiting for it. Good. 7 pitches so far for 2 outs.
And now they're going to say just 6-3. It was the mound that took some of the steam out of that ground ball, not Keller's glove. Dozier. Easy play for Gordon. And an easy inning for Keller. 8 pitches. It'll be the Royals against former Royal Jake Odorizzi today. And Ned Yost goes with essentially the same batting order today as the first 2 games of the series. One change. Drew Butera will get the start behind the plate. So Salvador Perez is the designated hitter. Lucas Duda is at first. Hunter Dozier is not in the lineup today. Facing right-hander Jake Odorizzi in his first year with the Twins. He has 105 strikeouts in 101 innings.
Okay, that means that he's got a certain pitch, and for that, it's been that high fastball. He's got a pretty good sinker. We'll be ready. Whitley just missed it.
Rosario makes the play. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Okay, Odorizzi, don't let him get ahead, because when he does, he has a 222 opponent average, and what the pitch that he uses is that high fastball. And when he gets ahead of hitters, the hitters will swing at it more. When he falls behind, they leave it alone for some reason. That's because it's hard to catch up to.
Jorge Bonifacio with his .364 on base percentage. Helped last night by 3 walks, tying a career high, and now he's reached base safely over his last 10 games. And his on base percentage over that stretch is close to 400. 1 ball, 1 strike. One and 2. .28-year-old Jake Odorizzi will spend a brief time in the Royals organization. Remember, we were talking about Lance Lynn and having difficulty getting swings and misses on breaking balls?
Yep.
Odorizzi on the 13th against Tampa Bay. There's a swing and a miss on a fastball. He got 1 swing and miss on an off-speed pitch in that entire start. 4 1/3 innings. 1 swing and a miss on a breaking ball. So I don't think this would be a big adjustment offensively for the Royals today.
I don't think so either. Jake Cave is out in center. Hopefully he makes that adjustment. He lost 1 in twilight last night. Now today the sun can be really tough on an outfielder as here. No doubt. And there he is, Logan Morrison, back in there off the disabled list. Blue Valley West product here in Overland Park. Happy to be back on the field.
Ball 1 on Mike Moustakas. Picked up a single in the 7th inning last night, putting an end to an 0 for 14. He has been getting on base by way of walks. But putting bat on ball, he is just 1 for his last 16. But against Minnesota, he has reached base safely in 32 consecutive games. 2-1. So you got a couple of guys who had back-to-back who like to throw their fastball. They like to throw their fastball up and haven't had a lot of success with their breaking ball lately. Lance Lynn and Jake Odorizzi. Little abbreviated swing. Moustakas hits it to the hole on the left side, and that's the third baseman Escobar throwing him out. So Odorizzi matches Keller with a 1-2-3 first.
As you enjoy a Miller Lite, look forward to the Hold True moment later in today's game.
Perfect games.
That's right. A lot of zeros up there.
Escobar, Morrison, and Garver are coming up against Brad Keller. He needed 8 pitches to get to the top of the first inning. Oh, and 2 on Escobar. Two out of 6 with a double in this series. His only extra base hit against the Royals this year. He has 51 extra base hits against everybody else. And a major league leading 36 doubles. Got him with a slider down, and Keller has struck out 2.
Okay, got to like that for sure from Keller so far, because what the hitters have done before Mauer, Rosario, they've all gone back to the dugout and said, fellas, be ready. He's on the attack. And that's what Ned Yost said he wants to see from Keller. Not to be too fine, but, you know, like he's been trying a little bit too hard. And when you do that, sometimes you leave the ball elevated and you get whacked. And he hasn't been having good command. But so far, he's attacking down right away. So they're on the defensive. They're taking swings that they're not ready to take.
Logan Morrison takes a strike. That's the first pitch he's seen since coming back from the disabled list today. He was out with a left hip impingement. One ball, one strike. The Royals will shift on him, and here's StatCast powered by AWS.
Yep, he's an all or nothing dead pull, and you can see him there defending that way almost to the tee, to the number. He's got one swing, and a lot of hitters are like him. He's trying to launch one. And if you put it thigh high right over the middle of the plate, you know, you miss. That's the one he likes. He has a nice little launch angle. He's at the one swing. You know, where in the past, like a Paul Molitor, he would adjust on a hit and run, have a different swing, or maybe he'd adjust facing Nolan Ryan, maybe compared to Tommy John. You know, you had different swings back in the day. Nowadays, it's one swing pretty much for a lot of these guys.
He had an excellent first half last year with Tampa Bay and ended up with a career year. But he had 15 more home runs and 30 more RBIs at this point last year.
Well, it sure helps to get off to a good start. Doesn't always happen.
Keller has struck out 3.
Mixing in a few breaking balls, and look at that downward angle. That's nice. That north to south, man, that's tough to square that up unless it's hanging. If it's up in the zone, you can hit it a little bit easier.
And we mentioned the trouble he was having throwing strikes in his previous 2 starts. He has thrown a first pitch strike to each of the first 5 hitters. And he just threw another strike. So we'll call it a strike, but the count says 1 ball and no strikes.
Top of the zone at 94. Looked like it was in the grid.
Two 2-0 on Mitch Garver, who has won for his last 15. Pulled foul into the first row. Garver is behind the plate today, so Bobby Wilson is not in the lineup in the day game after the night game. Ned Yost did the same thing. Drew Butera is behind the plate today with Salvador Perez as the designated hitter. 2-2. Keller has thrown 21 pitches, 15 strikes. 3-2. Max Kepler, a left-hand batter, is on deck.
It's a big opportunity for Garver this year. He's trying to make some noise so he can have a future with the Twins, taking advantage of the Castro injury.
And he hits that one hard and deep, and Rosell Herrera with a diving play onto the warning track. Keller says thank you very much. And in typical Herrera fashion, he's up and sprinting back to the dugout.
Nice. He caught up to that ball and just leaned a little bit forward, but man, is he good out there.
Rosell Herrera just made a diving play onto the warning track in center field on a drive from Mitch Garver. And he'll be coming up. He'll be batting third here in the bottom of the second inning. So as always, he is sprinting in from the outfield. 0-1 on Salvador Perez, who is the DH today.
Plays with a lot of energy, doesn't he?
Salvi has driven in 4 in this series. He had a 2-run home run in the first inning last night. And has a nice little hitting streak going. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Arquilla drive to success. It's an 8-game hitting streak for Salvador Perez. He has driven in 11 and has 3 home runs, 2 of which have been to the opposite field. And as Ned Yost talked about after the game last night, really happy with his at-bats. He's working deeper counts, seeing more pitches, picking up the pitch or the type of pitch quicker out of the pitcher's hand.
Salvi was telling me he's got to make some adjustments. He says, I've got to be able to be smarter than what I showed in the first half. And he's showing it so far. He's being a little bit more selective, we're seeing, and then he's using the opposite field. And that's what this game is. It's all about adjustments.
And I think maybe the most telling statistic when looking at Salvi's season is what he has done when he's ahead in the count, which is what every hitter tries to do, get ahead in the count. 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, whatever. And the veteran hitter, that's a dangerous spot to be in. Well, at this point, Salvi has chased more pitches out of the strike zone when he's ahead in the count than anybody in the major leagues. So probably chasing a lot of pitches that he or anybody else cannot hit.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes aggressive to a fault, but still there's a fine line there. He's successful the way he is because he's aggressive. So this is what plays on the hitter's mind. And you go, okay, you tell yourself I'm going to be selective. All right, I'm not going to swing on this pitch. And then that it's a strike down the middle, and it just really rinses your brain. You're like, gosh, why did I do that for? That's why it's so nerve-wracking.
Good take there on a changeup. We've seen a few at bats this year where Salvi goes up there and decides that he's going to take a pitch, and every time it is right down the middle.
Yeah, now this pitch here, I bet Odorizzi and Garver are thinking, let's get him to chase.
And he did. That was a changeup, back-to-back changeups. Odorizzi strikes out his second. Let's go downstairs, and here's Joel.
Well, Ryan, the Royals made a trade this morning. Not a blockbuster, but one that we should see the immediate returns, or at least the player coming tomorrow. Brian Goodwin is a 27-year-old outfielder for the Washington Nationals, former first-round draft pick of theirs, had double-digit homers last year, also speed. In return for the deal, the Royals sent 23-year-old pitcher Jacob Condra Bogan to the Nationals. He was in A ball last year, was in independent ball. How does something like this happen? I talked to Dayton Moore, and they know that the Nationals are loaded up with a lot of players, and that Goodwin was out of options this year. So they've really had him on their radar since before the season. And in talking to some others in the organization, they told me that they've really had their eye on him for the last 5 years as someone that they would like to acquire. A little more on Goodwin. He's left-handed hitting. Dayton likes that. They want more left-handed hitters. He can play all three outfield spots. He's athletic. He has speed. He has some pop. And when you think about all the outfielders, and I think HUD mentioned this yesterday, we don't know what the future of the infield is with the trade deadline, and Rosell Herrera can play infield, and that's something we might see going forward. So another option for the Royals, and Goodwin will be up here on the big league roster.
And Joel, you know, looking at the Nationals, I mean, they were loaded with outfielders. There just was no room for Goodwin. 3-1 on Duda. I mean, of course, they have Bryce Harper, and he's in center field today, but they have Michael Taylor. They have Adam Eaton. We're familiar with him. And then they have that 19-year-old sensation, Juan Soto. There's just no more room on the Nationals roster. Rosario makes a play in left field. 2 down. Or excuse me, that was the third baseman. Shortstop Ere Adrianza coming in from left. So that time they used the shortstop as the 4-man outfield instead of third baseman Eduardo Escobar as they had earlier in the series.
Yeah, well, while Goldie was given that outstanding report, they slipped on out the outfield, made a 4-man outfield on Duda. He was ahead in the count.
One on Rosell Herrera. 1 out of 7 with a walk in the first 2 games. Oh, and 2. One ball, 2 strikes. In the top of the 3rd, Amos Otis is going to join us in the booth. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And then later in the game, Billy Butler will be up here.
All right.
Odorizzi has struck out 3 in 2 scoreless innings, just like Brad Keller. Amos Otis, 5-time All-Star, 3-time Gold Glover with the Royals. Will be with us when we come back. baseball. And if you go back to the very beginning, the first star for the Royals, here's a young Amos Otis up on that mural in the Royals Hall of Fame. Royals gave away his bobblehead yesterday, and he's going to spend a little time with us up here in the booth. Good to see you.
Hey, good to be here.
Welcome back to KC.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good to have you in the booth with us.
So what's your reaction when I say the first star in the history of the Kansas City Royals?
Well, I appreciate the compliment. I think you have to go back 1 year. Lou Piniella was the rookie of the year.
Right.
And so I always said he was the first one. Then I came. I just raised the bar a little higher.
We had Whitey Herzog on last night, and talking a lot about Whitey ball and how he loves speed and defense. And you were probably do you think you were the first prototype of that type of guy that Whitey wanted and gave the Royals that image?
Well, I was the first base stealer over here. So of course when Whitey came along, we had quite a few guys to steal bases. So I think he had a lot to do with it.
Amos, 50th season. Now, we've seen you here in years past, but for this season here in particular, where all your buddies are around, it's been fun for you to see some of your friends?
Yeah, I've lost some friends I had seen in 40 years.
Oh, great.
It was great. I ended up playing golf with some of them this week. So it's great that they're still around to see them.
And listen to some of the stories, I bet, right?
Well, you call them stories. I call them lies. But it's great.
We have some numbers compiled to look at what you did in your 14 years here with the Royals, and elite numbers when you start talking about comparing power and speed. And being here from 1970 to 1983, 193 home runs, 340 stolen bases. Now, players during that era that had that many home runs and that many stolen bases, only two guys had more home runs than you with that many stolen bases: Bobby Bonds and Joe Morgan. Wow. That is elite company.
That's pretty good.
How about that?
Yeah. Bobby Bonds was a great leadoff hitter, stole bases, power. Joe Morgan could do it all also.
Amos, what are you most proud of during your playing days here in Kansas City?
Hey, being with the team for 14 years, because it doesn't happen that often that you can spend that much time with one team and not start with that team. And I stayed there 14 years, and the memories of stealing a lot of bases, it was probably my best thrill that I like to do.
Any tips you could give a young base stealer? What would it be?
Oh, I could give them a lot of tips. I show them how to read the pitcher and make it a lot easier stealing bases instead of trying to outrun the ball. I could do it.
Yeah, I like it.
Let's see how good your memory is. On this date in 1973, you had your first career walk-off home run. Final game before the All-Star game. You remember that?
Against the Milwaukee Brewers.
Milwaukee Brewers.
Hit it off of a guy named Rodriguez, I think.
I'm trying to zip through this really quick, all the information here.
Was it a no-doubter? Was it a bomb?
Oh, man, no doubters. You know, when the wind blowing out, there it go.
Alex Gordon comes in, and with, are they going to call that a catch? The Twins are going to take another look. They think that he trapped it. Jake Cave, by the way, came off the base, and the Royals tagged him. That ball looked like it bounced up into his glove, and Paul Molitor does want a challenge. I thought it would be appropriate that, as we're chatting with one Royals Hall of Famer with all those gold gloves, that another one who someday will be in the Royals Hall of Fame with his gold gloves would make the play, and it looked like there might have been a trap. Amos, what was the old ballpark like?
Old ballpark had the smoothest infield and outfield, just like Royal Stadium right now. But it was so big to left field and center field. The left field line was 369.
369, okay.
420 straightaway center with a 30-foot wall. Wow. It was made for left-hand hitters because it's 338 to right field.
Which is, I mean, which is still pretty deep. I mean, 338 isn't that short.
Right, that's still deep, but a lot easier to right field than it was to left field.
So they took, I guess they took that template and built another big one here. Yeah,
definitely.
So that guys like you can have room to roam.
Well, we was built on speed over here in defense, and big ballparks come in handy when you got that speed defense.
Well, sometimes the longer this goes, more chance that the call will stand. It looked like from the first replay that ball clearly bounced up into Alex's glove.
Hard to tell. Did his leather get underneath the bounce?
I think that's, I don't know if you can prove that it did not hit his glove. That's probably what they're going over.
Now, his glove lays there. Did it bounce off of the leather first? We saw it bounce, but if the leather was underneath the ball, theoretically, that's the catch. It's what's taking so long.
What do you think of replay?
Well, you know, I was just watching the play with Alex. When I played, you had no replay.
Yeah.
I could put my glove down on the ground. You can't see it bounce. And these days, they can come back and get you.
Yeah, but in your day, you would try to sell it though. After you made the play, you try to let them know, lift it up, that you made the catch.
And, but I don't care for replay really. It takes away from the game.
He's out. So the call stands. Amos, thanks a lot for stopping by.
Amos, all the best to you, bud.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming up, bud.
Bake sale for the Kansas City chapter of No Kid Hungry. The KC team was the top independent fundraising team in the U.S. in 2016 and has raised more than $225,000. Each dollar donated collects 10 meals to food insecure children. Gina's sitting in the Buck O'Neil legacy seat at today's game.
Ah, so special, Gina. Thank you. A lot of hard work for a great cause. Rhino, how many times do you see it?
Guy makes a great catch and leads off the next inning.
I mean, almost every day.
Almost.
Yeah, yeah. 0-2 here, though. Ooh, watch out. Came in hot, Minnesota. Here it is. They couldn't turn it over because they couldn't tell whether Alex's leather was down on the bottom of that ground. Look at him sell that, a nice athletic roll.
I'm happy for Alex, and I'm happy for the Royals. But that's being a little picky, if you ask me. $15 up and 15 down for the two pitchers combined so far. Still 0-2 on Alex. Odorizzi has struck out 3 in 2 scoreless innings. Keller has struck out 4 in 3 scoreless innings. Alex gets on top of a fastball and lines it to left, and Rosario is there for the out.
Create moments you will remember forever with the Royals Memories program. Download the MLB Ballpark app now to choose from unique experiences that give you access to the field, watch batting practice next to the pros, deliver the game ball to the mound, or take in a fireworks show from the outfield grass. See full list of experiences on the Ballpark app on your mobile device. That was a good at-bat by Alex Gordon. He had some excellent swings to left field, just missed getting a hit. He hit it hard.
Escobar has 2 hits and a walk in this series, getting his average up over 200. I don't know if anybody's going to write home when they look up on the scoreboard and they say 202, but Escobar for quite a while had his batting average below 200. Good fastball at 92, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Escobar will add to that batting average with a 1-out single, and that's the first base runner of the game. Comes with 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd.
He's right on top of that one. 91. That's right where he likes it. Good swing. 2-hand follow through. That felt good, I could tell.
Drew Butera with 1 on, 1 out. Drew got a lot of playing time early in the season when Salvador Perez was on the disabled list, but lately games played have been hard to come by. This is just his 10th start in the Royals' last 42 games. Oh, 0-2.
So when you don't play that often, you just do one thing right good for the team. You do a nice job catching that day, or calling signals, or you get one hit, good hit with a runner on. You've done something. I mean, that's how hard the game is. Drew does that. Gonna have to get some new lumber on this one.
As former Royal third baseman Joe Randa used to put it years ago, just find a way to put an egg in the basket.
That's a good analogy.
And when the game's over, the team with the most eggs in the basket wins. So that egg might be a defensive play. It might be moving a runner, might be getting a big hit.
Joe Randa, he had a nice career, man. Played hard. I liked him a lot. Still like him. Liked him as a player.
Still 0-2. This is Drew's first at bat in this series. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Escobar's not running as much as he did, but he is 4 out of 5 in steals.
Elevated fastball got him, and Odorizzi has struck out 4. 2 down. Royals not known as a patient team, but in this series they've done a good job of working long counts. They elevated Kyle Gibson's pitch count. Gibson was only able to go 5 1/3 on Friday night, and then Lance Lynn threw almost 120 pitches in his 5 innings. He walked 6. Royals last night ended up piling up the walks on Lynn, Presley, Rogers. A little bit high to Whit Merrifield. And we were telling you that this is game 3 of 13 in a row for the Twins without an off day. And Paul Molitor, well, he really had to stretch out Lance Lynn last night. 118 pitches over 5 innings. And he almost had to go to his bullpen in the 3rd inning.
Hey, I had a chance to talk to Paul Molitor, Minnesota's manager, today before the game about a little bit about that last night, and you know, his long road trip he has, and was he hopeful and that Lynn could stay in. He goes, yeah, the 3rd inning was tough. He goes, I wasn't sure if I was gonna have to go get him or what, but he was able to survive. You know, got the Royals to swinging a few pitches that got him out of the inning, but he said it was a gutty performance. It's tough to watch for a little while, the first few innings, he says. And then we went to our team, and I started going down the list of our guys, and when I got to Whitley, he said, you know what, I don't like it when he comes to the plate. I said, wow, that's a good compliment coming from you. He goes, yeah, you know, he's going to do something every time up. It's going to help his team. He stays inside the ball. He uses the whole field. He's fun to watch. That's a compliment from a Hall of Famer.
3 balls, 1 strike. Paul Molitor was inducted in 2004, and at the time was one of 3 players in history with 3,000 hits, 600 doubles, and 500 stolen bases, and really the only modern day player to do that. The other 2 are Honus Wagner and Ty Cobb.
Gosh, that's some great company, huh? Ooh.
That was a swing, and the count goes from 3-0 to 3-2.
Yeah, he might have win on that, and that's a one that a lot of guys get tossed out on, that check swing. Because they're hot-tempered, they didn't believe they went. When the umpire says, yeah, you did, you're like, no, I didn't, and sometimes you have a bad reaction.
Herrera runs, and it's fouled back.
You get tossed. You know, and you're so into your at bat about that time, and then, you know, when you're convicted that you didn't go, and then you look down and you see that guy throw his fist at you, that sometimes will get you going. But Whitley was calm because he didn't get called out.
Escobar goes again, and Odorizzi comes back from 3-0 to get his 5th strikeout. We have had 1 base runner in 3 full innings. No score. before the break, has faced 9 and retired 9 and has 4 strikeouts. And some help from Rosel Herrera against Mitch Garver to end the second inning, and then Alex Gordon against Jake Cave to end the third.
That's 2 defenders that have gotten some Trevor Turf on their uniform for a play for him. He likes that. Who wouldn't?
So second time through now. Maurer, Rosario, and Dozier. Right to Witt. And Keller set down the first 10. Refreshing saves from Price Chopper and Aquafina. Sign up at mypricechopper.com/saves to save on Aquafina when the Royals get a save, which they've had in the first 2 games here. A more traditional save last night for Willie Peralta. A literal save for Brandon Maurer. He had to come in and save Peralta on Friday night.
Yeah, Peralta, he told me today, hey, look, this game is all about picking up your teammates. I couldn't go. I wasn't having a hard time with my command. Maurer came in, you know, and even though it was a little nail biter, he got the job done. That's the bottom line. And then last night, he said it was my turn. I had to step up and take care of myself. Do it myself, and not rely on somebody else to pick me up. But that's what this game is. It's all about picking me up, picking other guys up.
Three 3-0 on Rosario. He grounded out to short in the first inning. And the Twins get their first base runner with a 1-out walk. Ryan Dozier flied out to left in the first inning.
Want to make sure that he continues his focus on getting ahead of hitters and then letting them get themselves out. And our keys were to go ahead and continue to get ahead, throw those strikes. Rosario's stolen 6 bases, but you know, Keller wants to roll him up in that ground ball double play. One of the things he's done so well all year. So if you can get an early, heavy, hard sinker. His 4-seamer has some natural cutting action into the lefty and away to the righty. 2-seamers down and in. Pitching moving down is the reason he's so good on the ground.
Dozier is 0 for 9 in this series. He does have an RBI. Going to try and pitch him inside. Right where Drew Butera wanted it. Dozier wouldn't swing. 2-0. That's what they wanted to do, time up. So you think about a pull hitter and you go, well, don't pitch him inside. He likes to pull it. Stay away from him. But you can pitch him inside. Just make sure it's inside.
That's right.
And if you miss in and off the plate.
He knows that there's a fine line there. And when you're a big, strong sinker baller like Brad Keller, you're going to stay convicted and just say, all right, here it is. Trust the defense. Let it go.
And again, challenging inside. That was up and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That former seamer, that was an interesting hack because he lost his balance there.
Put it in a spot that's tempting, but not a spot where he can get it off the barrel of the bat. That was out over the plate, and a rare base hit for Dozier the other way. Rosario comes sprinting around third. Dozier gets his first hit of the series and his second RBI, and Minnesota leads 1-0.
Mo lottery replay right there in the middle, and like you said, Dozier went with it. Barreled it. He thought about going to third, but he's able to put the brakes on that. Scored Rosario with no problem.
Runner in scoring position for Eduardo Escobar. Keller struck him out in the second inning. Keller retired the first 10 Twins, and now with one out in the fourth, a walk to Rosario and a double to Dozier. One and one on Escobar. Escobar had a Twins record 51 extra base hits before the All-Star break. Think about all the sluggers they've had over the years, and it's Escobar now is a little bit of a cheater's model in that I don't ever remember 95 or 96 games before the All-Star break, so it was a long first half, but still 51 extra base hits is 51 extra base hits.
Sure is.
And he gets that one through the right side. Dozier will be held as Bonifacio gets it back to the infield. So first and third with one out.
Escobar adding to his 370 average of the runner in scoring position, just seems to find holes in the clutch. Breaking ball stayed up, 86 up in the zone, and he was able to handle it. Hit it right where he should have hit it.
Logan Morrison just got back from the disabled list today, and in his first at bat he struck out on a Keller slider. Ground ball to Witt, out at second, and no double play. So a run scores. It's 2-0.
Good try. He hit it hard. Morrison runs well. Hustled it out. That hip flexor's problem he had is not bothering him there.
And now Morrison's at first for Mitch Garver. And he drove one to the warning track in left center field in the second inning, and Rosell Herrera made a diving play. Hey. 0-2.
I think that's worth another look. That was a great catch. I totally agree. Perfect group, great straight line right to the ball, and was able to secure the catch with a slight dive. Plenty of room. Nice talking with Amos Otis. He said 420 center field. Then that's a deep ballpark. So you really can rely on your speed when you have a ballpark that big. That's what Lorenzo Cain liked. Although talking to him this year playing at Miller Park, he said, wow, it's like half the size of the outfield, a little bit easier.
1-2 on Garver. You can imagine back when the Royals moved here and with the AstroTurf, there wasn't a whole lot of speed in the American League at that time, and the teams that normally dominated were those big East teams. They had a lot of power. They did not play good defense. Minnesota with 1 out gets a walk and a double and turns that into 2 runs. To the bottom of the 4th with Bonifacio, Moustakas, and Perez coming up. By Pizza Ranch, hungry for legendary pizza and chicken. It's Pizza Ranch for the win. And by Dodge, join the Brotherhood of Muscle at the Dodge Summer Clearance event and get a great deal. We were talking last night about all the places to take the kids at Kauffman Stadium. If they're restless, that's a good place to take them on a hot day. Be careful.
That's right. But it feels good.
Jake Odorizzi has a 2-0 lead. He has allowed 1 base runner in his first 3 innings. That was an Escobar 1-out single in the 3rd. Bonifacio is one of Odorizzi's 5 strikeouts, and it's 0-2. Jake Odorizzi. Where would the Royals be without Jake Odorizzi? You say, well, wait a minute. What was his role? Well, he was part of the trade that brought Lorenzo Cain and Alcides Escobar to Kansas City, and then the Royals turned him around, and part of a deal that brought James Shields and Wade Davis to the Royals. He has struck out 6 in 3 1/3 innings.
Getting him with that high fastball. It's exactly what his manager told me today. He said if he can get ahead of hitters, he can get a lot of strikeouts with that high fastball, and that's what he's doing. And it's a borderline pitch. Very tough to square it up.
All swinging strikeouts. 5 of the 6 have been with his fastball. Here's Mike Moustakas with 1 out. So some players literally help the Royals get to 2 World Series. Others help them by being the one that got the players here to go to the World Series. Escobar shading his eyes from a bright sun, and there are 2 down.
Quality time at the K has never been easier with the family. Fun Day Sundays presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Enjoy pregame activities for the whole family, including face painters, games in the outfield experience, and pregame player autographs with signature Sundays. After the game, kids under 14 can test their speed rounding the bases on the field with the Kansas City Zoo Fun Run. Get your tickets at royals.com/Sunday. You won't regret it. It's fun.
Odorizzi with that high fastball that's been effective for him. The only strikeout he has today without a fastball. He struck out Salvi with a changeup back in the second inning. No balls, 2 strikes. Seems like we've said that a lot the last few innings with Odorizzi. No balls, 2 strikes.
And then that was the key. You know, you gotta try to zone him and get him.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Smiling for pictures and signing autographs before the game today. Kepler fades back in right field and makes a play. Odorizzi has a 1-2-3 bottom of the 4th with a 2-0 lead. Billy Butler is going to join us when we come back. Butler highlights. I remember that. That was a home run against Jason Mott in St. Louis. Ended up being a long game. They were showing some highlights of Billy up on Crown Vision an inning ago, which included a stolen base in the playoffs.
Not many of those.
Yeah, man. I mean, retired Billy Butler.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I should say, come on, man, get your uniform on. You should be down in the field. But,
well, I feel like
good to see it.
Don't tip me. I feel like I can.
I bet you could.
Believe it.
Yeah.
Oh. How you doing? You're back in Idaho Falls, where you met your wife Katie, right, when you were in the minor leagues?
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
That's where I started, and that's where I'm at now.
Fantastic.
So, well, it started and ended.
How about the fans here loving on you?
Oh, they're amazing. They've always been amazing. I've always, you know, this has always been a great place. You know, you get drafted by a team. It doesn't always work out the way that it did for me, and they've always been so gracious and supportive of me, and that's amazing.
Lucas Duda makes the play, and you know, we knew you could hit, Billy, and Royals moved you around, drafted as a third baseman, played the outfield for a little bit, and as Duda makes that play, did you enjoy your time at first base? That's where you spend most of your time as a Royal.
Oh, absolutely. That's you know, I worked really hard for the amount of time that I got, and what people don't really see is I spent a lot of time before anybody got to the park just being as good as I was, which is obviously below average, is what it was. I mean, you had a Gold Glover with Hosmer over there, and you had other guys. So I was just trying to do my best to, just fill in when I could, and just wanted to be a defensive player. And it was just always a little tougher for me than it came with the stick. So it's one of those things I consistently worked on, and even though it looked more difficult for me out there, that people kind of just like, oh, he's just a bat first, but I still worked on it every day of my career to get better at it, even at the end.
A couple of quick outs. 2012, that was kind of the season, I thought, when the fans really got re-engaged here to set up 13, 14, and 15. And it began with you in the All-Star game here. And I think for a lot of people, myself included, that wasn't here in the 70s and the 80s, they had never heard a roar of the crowd like you got when you were introduced at the All-Star game in 12.
Well, to see that stadium at that time in 2012, we've been through a lot of rough years. Most of my career up to that point had been, we were just trying to get to where we were the few years after that, and to see that amount of people and the electricity and the emotion here, I was like, these fans got it. We just got to put it on the field.
That had to be one of your highlights.
Absolutely. They implemented a rule now after me. They put the hometown guy in the crowd in the home run derby now, because they don't want to cause another riot like that, like they did on Robinson Cano.
Probably the biggest cheer and the biggest boos in the history.
Well, I felt really excited about the fans doing that, and I felt bad for what they were doing to Robinson, because you could see it was affecting him. And then, he's just like, we're not going to let that happen again.
I'll say, have you ever seen a derby where not one home run was hit by one guy? I mean, I've never seen that before.
Foul balls into the crowd. I mean, it was affected, and that was purely based on the emotion from the crowd towards him. So
I totally agree.
That's you don't see that.
I know you got a lot of people to see, and it's great to see you, Billy. And I hope
always a pleasure.
Thanks for taking time. Thanks for taking time to come up and see us, buddy.
All right, Billy, you're the best.
You guys, it's been a lot of years together.
You got it.
For your young Royals fans, purchase the 2018 Sluggers Blue Crew box just for $30. Membership includes a jersey, flat bill cap, drawstring bag, 2 compression sleeves, 2 home game ticket vouchers, and much more. Sign up now at Royals.com/Blue Crew. These kids look happy in their outfits.
Billy Butler's over on radio right now, chatting with Denny and Steve Stewart, so he's being shuttled around. Of course, we always have a quick inning when we have someone we want to spend some time with. In 2012, which was your first year, right?
Sure was. You'll never forget it.
The team slogan was "Our Time," and the Royals lost 90 games that year, so it was a slogan that was mocked. But really, if you look back on it, you could say our time meant for the fans. That's a swing, and it's 1-2 and Duda. The way they came out for the All-Star game and cheered for Billy Butler, the way that they booed Robinson Cano just showed how engaged they were, how much they cared about the team, even though they hadn't won in a long time. And I remember, and I won't name names, but a national commentator during the Home Run Derby said, you know, these people need to understand, as Cano was getting booed during the Home Run Derby. And I think that was symbolic of how Royals and their fans felt at that time. That's bobbled on what should have been a routine play by the third baseman Escobar on the overshift. So he's hit with an error. And Duda's on to begin the bottom of the 5th inning. So I think it's just kind of like Kansas City was just a group of those people, you know, and they made themselves heard at that All-Star game. They were re-engaged. And then later that year, remember, Miguel Cabrera clinched the Triple Crown here, and the Royals had a huge walk-up, gave him a standing ovation when the Royals acknowledged that he had clinched the first Triple Crown since 1967. And I think that core group of players will tell you that that showed them that the fans really do care here. You know, give them a reason to come out here. Give them a reason to have hope for a winning season, and they'll come out. And it wasn't until the last week of the season that they were eliminated in 2013. Justin Maxwell, remember, hit that walk-off grand slam.
It's beautiful.
And the crowd went berserk and didn't want to leave. So really, when you look back on it, I mean, I think our time was referring to the city and to the fans, because after 2012, it hasn't been the same.
Nope. It's been outstanding. Let's see here if Herrera can find a way to get something going. Take advantage of that miscue by Escobar. Trying to lay off of that high fastball has been a tough chore for the Royals. They got just one hit so far.
So remember when Chris Young was pitching for the Royals, and he would pitch up, and thinking would be, you got to lay off that high fastball, or you start looking for the high fastball. I mean, that's where he's pitching today. I mean, do you anticipate a high fastball?
Yeah, you have
to go after it.
Yeah, I would. But you just got to tell a lot of times they're going to get him into some trouble here. Now they still need a big hit. Odorizzi, he's been really stingy when it's been coming to runners in scoring position. Been very strong.
It's the first time today the Royals have had more than one base runner in an inning, and they are gifts of the Twins here, an error and a walk. Alex Gordon has the hardest hit ball so far by a Royal when he lined out to Rosario in deep left in the 3rd inning.
I talk about Odorizzi and how good he's been. I mean, since 2015, .213 opponent average with runners in scoring position. That's consistently executing your pitches throughout a long period of time. So but it can be done. If you want to sweep these guys today, you got to get a big hit right here. Take advantage.
Alex goes up the line and into the corner. Duda scores. Here's Herrera. No relay, and Alex Gordon ties the game at 2. And it's a milestone hit for Alex Gordon. 500 extra base hits. And he becomes just the 5th Royal in history to hit that milestone.
Congratulations, Alex. That swing was beautiful. Let the ball travel deep. 84, little breaking ball went with it. That's the 2nd time he's hit a ball hard that way against Odorizzi in today's game. It looks like that's the approach he wants to stay with there for sure. Congratulations. Wow, look at him continue to climb on that list of all-timers. Beautiful swing. New game for Keller.
And of course he accomplishes that with Billy Butler in the house. Those two will be linked together when we look back on Royals history. Teammates in the minor leagues and in the big leagues. Let's see if Escobar can get Alex over to the 3rd at least. He's going to try and do it with a bunt. Eduardo Escobar throws him out. So Alex goes to 3rd with 1 out.
Doing the little things. Escobar did that earlier in the series here, and he moved the runners along and ended up paying off. But that's exactly what you need. Just get him over there, less than 2. You got a higher percentage of chance of scoring. Forces Mahler to bring his infield in with Butera here. This situation. Drew's going to just try to do his best to make some contact, stay up the middle. Big hole there. Or get up underneath it. Sac fly would work.
Minnesota will bring the infield in. Down and away, ball 1. With that effective high fastball, Odorizzi struck out Butera in the 3rd inning. Two balls, no strikes.
Yeah, Odorizzi, he wants to really focus here on Butera, number 9 hitter. He's got the top of the order coming up with Whit Merrifield. He doesn't want to have to face him. But so far, he's thrown a couple of breaking balls away to Butera. Butera zone him. High fastball coming. Try to stay on top of that ball, and that'll help you get the sac fly.
Good spot. Down and away, right on the corner. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Talked earlier about Butera playing once a week. Just do one thing good. This would be it if he could get that run home somehow.
2-2.
Got him a pitch. That was a good one.
Going to go back to the slider. Or at least a cut fastball that came in at 92 miles an hour.
Had a better rip on that one.
Yep. We'll do it again. So the Twins had done nothing against Keller. He retired the first 10. They got a crack with 1 out in the 4th, and they turned it into 2 runs. The Royals had 1 base runner in the first 4 innings against Odorizzi. They got their crack in this inning with an error and a walk, and now they have 2. So you have 2 pitchers who were on top of their game, and in a game like this, you're not going to get many opportunities, and you got to make the most of it. And so far, both teams have done that.
Like what Butera's doing here. He is battling, scrapping, and clawing, and that's what you do. Big situation. You love being in it. This is right here. He's saying, okay, I'm going to win. You got to stay positive. Try not to chase.
Got an infield pop up. 2 2 outs. And now here comes Witt, and it's the 3rd time through for the Royals, and that has been a big problem for Jake Odorizzi. Not just the .387 batting average, but 11 home runs, and he's allowed a slugging percentage over 900 3rd time through the order. The average and the slugging percentage are the highest in the major leagues. Got the call on a pitch that appeared to be a little bit outside. 0-1. Witt has flied to left and struck out.
Wow, really? That's a little bit off.
One ball, 1 strike.
You know, Whitley, we haven't seen him drag bunt in a while. I mean, he's the kind of player that's really smart. He looks for different ways to get things done. With Escobar, the 3rd baseman, way back right there. And the breaking balls that Odorizzi is trying to get in there, that's a perfect time to drop one down with his speed. He could score Alex easily and get himself a base hit. Not now, he won't.
Not going to throw him a fastball.
Nope, and that's what I'm thinking. You know, those are easier pitches to bunt. Haven't seen him do that in a while. And one of the reasons is he hasn't needed to. He's been really swinging a good bat. So he's not going to bunt as much, but any way you can to get that go-ahead run in.
Well, maybe he'll try and overthrow a breaking ball here to strike out Witt and bounce one. 3 straight breaking balls. And he got him to chase that one down and away. But the Royals accept the gift. An error and a walk set up the inning, and then Alex Gordon with a 2-run double drives in Duda and Herrera to tie the game at 2.
Beautiful swing. Timely.
Of the year today. Joe Mauer will lead off the 6th inning, and it's time for our sprint trivia question. Name the career doubles leaders for each AL Central teams.
Career?
There's the Twins guy, and he accomplished that last night. Alex Gordon just hit a double, driving in a couple of runs. Mauer is struck out and grounded out to second base today.
Well, George Brett is always one of our #1 answers. Ding, ding, ding.
So there's 2 of the 5. Indians, White Sox, Tigers.
How about Frank Thomas?
What about
Konerko? One of those 2. You like either one of those?
I like the Frank Thomas one.
Well, let's just keep that in our tank.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Now
well
Alex running toward the line, and that is foul.
Just barely. I had a little birdie said, just throw Frank Thomas's name out there. Let's do it. Frank Thomas. Ding, 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 ding. Look at that. Oh, yeah, that's 4 inches foul. Okay.
What about Ty Cobb?
Wow. Well, you know what? Tigers, what are they, 140 years old? That's a long way back, but you know, that's a good guess.
We'll put on the back burner. Indians.
Ooh. They got to be almost as old as the Tigers in their career.
Last call.
It's got to be.
Last call, Hud.
Okay. Not last call on trivia, though, thankfully. We can have a little bit of time on this one because the Indians, that's going to be tough. Tommy wasn't there long enough.
Keller strikes out Mauer for a second time today. Keller has struck out 7.
Why don't you stay with your Tigers guess?
A career high 7 strikeouts, Hud.
It's awesome. Look at it now. It's not down, it's up. And I think now that's twice he's gotten Mauer on heaters up in the zone. He's so well known in his young season this year of being down and throwing sinkers that he's surprising a lot of guys up. Go with
Al Kaline.
Yeah, I like Ty Cobb.
Ty Cobb. Correct. Indians.
How are we supposed to know that? Who's famous? Who had a famous name in the old days?
Al Rosen.
Okay. Came to my house and signed me at 17 years old, by the way.
Really?
Did. Nice
That's
guy.
the scout that signed you?
No, no, he was my VP of the Yankees.
Okay.
It's a good guess. It's got to be
Kenny Lofton?
that's a good.
No? Is he there long enough to be in that category?
Sure could run. Alomar wasn't there long enough. I think it's somebody before our time.
Maybe way back.
Yep. Wind's blowing in. Oh.
Bonifacio makes a play on Rosario. They're 2 down in the 6th inning.
So we're just missing one more.
With 3 strikes.
Throw Al Rosen out there.
Al Rosen. Strike 1. Seems like his name comes up quite a bit when an Indians hitter has accumulated a big season or a long career.
We need a hint.
We're getting a hint.
We
wow,
are.
with just 1 strike.
No, we need one because this is.
It's Sunday.
All right. I'll take it.
Family Fun Day Sunday.
Look at Keller. Another high strike.
He has struck out 8 to add to his new career high.
Go ahead, young man. Throw that heater with conviction.
Keller has a career high 8 strikeouts. He is opposed by Jake Odorizzi, who has struck out 7 in 5 innings. Minnesota scored 2 in the 4th inning. RBIs for Dozier and Morrison. The Royals got 2 in the 5th on a double by Alex Gordon with his 500th career extra base hit. And now Morrison takes care of Bonifacio to begin the bottom of the 6th, which is our Sonic Slam inning, and our contestant is Tim Yevak from Leavenworth. If the Royals hit a home run out of the park in this inning, Tim wins $200. And if the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Tim wins $25,000.
That's the one.
From Sonic and the Royals.
Tim wants that one.
Mike Moustakas has grounded out to 3rd and popped out to 3rd. I was given a very generous guess, or a hint rather.
Did that help you?
I think it did.
Didn't do much for me.
The hint was that this player played for both the Indians and the Red Sox. And I'll admit that my black and white baseball history is not the best, but Tris Speaker popped into my head.
Wow, really? What?
Is it Tris Speaker?
Ding, 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 ding. Hey.
Otherwise, I don't think I ever would have gotten that.
I would have never gotten.
And I don't know how I got Tris Speaker, to be honest with you.
That's really good, partner. You're on a nice roll. Or we are. We're on a good roll.
Two down in the bottom of the 6th. And now Odorizzi will get Salvador Perez. Salvi is struck out and flied out to right. And with Duda on deck, Odorizzi's moving up on 100 pitches, and they're working in the Minnesota bullpen. A little check swing foul ball. Zach Duke.
Well, you know what? He's right on pace. Jake Odorizzi, over his 20 starts this year, he's averaged just 5.05 innings per start. And after 20 starts, you can get a pretty good track record on a certain pitcher, what he's doing. While he's going to have his guys ready.
Hanging breaking ball, and that's a smash foul. And it cracks Salvi's bat. Odorizzi gets a strikeout, so he matches Keller with 8 today. Both pitchers have given up 2 runs, and we're tied at 2 to the 7th.
for the win. How about that? Bad. Brad Keller, he's back at it. 6 innings, just a couple of hits, a couple runs went with it. Just 1 walk. It's really good, and that's fresh because the last few outings he's had a lot of walks, but the 8 strikeouts, that's a career high. Nice job. Getting some at the top of the zone. He's been fabulous. They're doing a good job controlling the pitch count. The pitch count is very manageable. It's 78. Doing a good job. Into the 7th. Another ground ball out, just like we talked about earlier. He's pounding the ground and he's staying down and getting some early swings. That's helping his pitch count. So far, Keller's been stellar. You know, that, I can tell you what, bouncing back after his last couple of performances and then the long break, he's kind of gotten a little bit of confidence back. You can tell he's got a little swagger working. 7 ground outs, 4 flyouts, 8 strikeouts. There you go. Getting ahead. Nice strike. That's what he's doing. He's attacking. Has been the whole game. Logan Morrison 0 for 2 since his little layoff he had with his injury. Now he's back. He's made a couple of catches off defense. But Keller, when he's missing low in the zone. And that's a good sign. But what's also interesting of the 8 strikeouts is the 94 up in the high part of the zone. Doing a nice job. 81 pitches. Excuse me, 82. In tight. 3-1. Good hitting count. Morrison, we talked about it early. He's got that 1 swing, and if you put it right there, you're in trouble. He's got plenty of power. But you don't want to throw it in that spot here in this hitting count. 2-2 game. Just 2 hits apiece for each team. Nice. Okay, got him looking in. He's looking in there. Butera is doing a nice job with Keller today for sure because he's the veteran. He was schooling him in the clubhouse earlier, going through their meetings and see what he calls. Breaking ball. Stayed on the ground again. Nice job. Duda covering for Keller. 2 down. And for more play-by-play, here's my partner, Ryan Lefebvre.
Well, every time you do the play-by-play, Keller gets a ground ball out.
That's right. Way to go. He's been outstanding.
We usually give you 2 half innings a year, and
no calls still.
You only had 1 more out left.
I can't wait to get my first home run call.
Garver is lined to deep center and struck out. Great location.
I love his tempo. I mean, he's like just right after it.
Another ground ball. Good job, Hud. And a great job by Keller. He's given up just 2 runs in 7 innings. It is Sunday. We will stay here for God Bless America, and one of HUD's favorites, who has performed during student nights, Gracie Schramm.
It's Gracie.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairie to the ocean white with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
today when he gave up 2 runs in the 4th inning. Otherwise, 2 runs over 7 innings. And he has set down the last 11. Tigers will be in town for a 3-game series beginning tomorrow night. Heath Philmeyer and Francisco Liriano, then Bert Smith and Jordan Zimmerman, and then an afternoon game on Wednesday. Royals will not see Michael Fulmer, our University of Kansas Health System injury report update. He's on the disabled list with a strained left oblique. And they won't have to worry about Miguel Cabrera. Had a ruptured biceps on a swing.
Yep.
And remember early in the season, Cabrera, remember he didn't look right. He took some swings where he just looked like he wasn't 100%.
Yep.
And then one fateful swing ended his season. Zach Duke is a Chevy call to the bullpen with Duda, Herrera, and Gordon coming up.
Duke's going to present issues for Duda here for sure. Sweep it. Sweeping breaker. Oh, got him a heater there. Good swing by Duda.
Duke pitched 2/3 of an inning last night.
Fastball 86 to 93. Won't overpower you, but he'll definitely finesse you. He's got a good changeup. Used to lefties or righties. Look at that arm angle. He'll invent, create.
Give you a few different looks with his arm angles.
Certainly will, especially to Duda. And I like that swing there by Lucas. With 2 strikes on him, he was trying to just lay that ball into left field and get on base. Nobody out.
And he goes the other way. Lucas Duda has 3 hits in this series where he has beaten the shift.
Whew, man, that's nice. And he was waiting on the heater. That looked like a fastball. He tried to get in. Sure enough, a little 89. That's velocity on it, and very, very short. I love how he loads, but his head position is great. That head position stays still. And when the head stays still, the ball, you see it all the way. When your head moves, you know the ball moves too. So you better off keeping that head still.
Rosel Herrera has the best defensive play today, and he walked and scored in the Royals' 2-run 5th inning.
Just keep that line moving here. Get a run or 2 in there from Keller. Keller's been marvelous this afternoon. You try to pull Zach Duke, that's right what he wants you to do. So think about that opposite field.
Two balls, 1 strike. Minnesota bullpen is going through a tough time at the moment. In their last 25 games, the bullpen ERA is 6.5. Cave fights the sun out in center field, but makes the play.
And just like we promised, it's time for the Miller hold true moment. Alex Gordon, you want to hold this one. Oh man, was that nice. Not only was it a double that put him in the extra base lead a little over Mike Sweeney, but he knocked in 2 Royals today to tie it up. That was so timely and really a beautiful swing to the opposite field.
Joining George Brett, Hal McRae, Frank White, and Amos Otis, who was up here in the booth earlier in the ball game, is the only Royals with at least 500 extra base hits, and broke the tie with Mike Sweeney. So he is surrounded by Royals Hall of Famers in that category. ball, 1 strike.
Okay, that breaking ball that starts at the hitter's backside is going to be a strike. Breaking ball that starts in the middle of the plate is going to be off the plate and away. So it's up to the hitter to pick up the rotation in the breaker out of the release point if you can.
Sharply hit. Dozier is there. Out at second. And no double play. According to first base umpire Nick Lentz.
Alex, did he make it? Pretty close, didn't it?
Minnesota lost their challenge earlier in the game. Remember on that Alex Gordon play, ironically, that dive in left field. So Molitor didn't even flinch.
There you go.
Now, if it was the next inning, they could have requested a crew chief review.
Nonetheless, good hustle by Alex. Keep it alive.
Let's see if Escobar can make Minnesota pay for that. Esky is singled and dropped down a sacrifice bunt. Two 2-0. Three balls, no strikes. As always, if the Royals hit a triple in the game, the Kansas City Honda dealers will make a $1,000 donation to the Kansas City Urban Youth Academy. Esky swinging 3-0 and taking a big rip.
Well, Molitor's taking his chances with a few of the righties here in this lineup in this inning. Here's 315 average Duke has given up to right-handers. No homers. Lefties better average. You know what? He's done an excellent job of keeping the ball in the park all the way around. But you can hit a gapper. Ooh, on an inside pitch up like that's perfect. That's the one right there you wanted. Ooh, man, if you told Esky that was coming back, he would be sitting all over that left field line with that ball.
Escobar takes a walk. 2 on, 2 out. Here comes Paul Molitor.
Yeah, he's not going to take his chances with Butera coming up.
Trevor Hildenberger will be a Chevy call to the bullpen, and he'll get Butera with runners at first and second and 2 down.
parks in the country. There's no doubt about it. Students, join us at the K every Wednesday for a new low price of just $5 with your student ID. Plus, enjoy a happy hour special at the Boulevard Grill concession stand as you listen to live local music on the Outfield Experience stage before the game. Come check out our next local band, Run With It. This Wednesday, visit Royals.com/student night for the full list of bands and for tickets. Run With It.
Trevor Hildenberger gave up an RBI single late in the game last night to Whit Merrifield to give the Royals a little more breathing room. The run was charged to Taylor Rogers, and if he gives up a base hit here, the run would not be charged to him. Gordon at second, Escobar at first are the responsibility of Zach Duke.
How about a go with it single right here? Butera. Hildenberger, he's 88 to 94. Good hard sinker from that sidearm angle makes it tough to square up. Slider changeup. A couple different arm angles. He's difficult. Keep the front shoulder in if you're Butera.
And he's getting another chance to drive in a run. Back in the 5th inning with Alex Gordon at third and 1 out. In a long battle with Jake Odorizzi, Butera popped to first.
Oh, man. That was it. 89. He's right there in the middle. That's, you know, Drew, just don't try to do too much. It had a good sinking action to it, but it was elevated. Kepler in right field. He's got a pretty good arm. He's got 5 outfield assists. Rosario in left has 8. So if he hits it to either one of those spots, those guys will have a chance to throw him out. Alex needs to get a good secondary lead. This could be the game for Keller right here. Get him a W. They're in line. Yes.
Line to center field, and a miss. A diving miss by Cave.
Go, Drew.
Butera is to third. Mike Scherschel is going to wave him home. He is safe with an inside the park home run.
Can you believe it? All he needed was a lousy single. Love the swing. That's our Dodge drive of the game, without a doubt. And look at that. Cave came in and it all caved in on him. But Drew Butera out of everybody. He took the piano off his back right there at first base. And now he's heading to second base. His eyes are all over Mike Scherschel. Scherschel saying, all right, let's go with it, Drew. And he got it, and just got a curtain call from the crowd here. So one lousy single. Look at Salvi rooting him home. Oh, how about an exciting play? And there's the curtain call for Butera. So he all he was wanting for was a single, and he cleaned the bases. That was special.
How about this crowd? How about the fans?
You gotta love it. It's like a playoff game here.
Royals are 39 games below 500. And in this weekend series, it's like a flashback to 13, 14, 15, 16. I mean, they have been in every pitch.
Totally. That was so exciting. I mean, just to see the ball down for Keller, really, the way he's been pitching in the pin lately, all they needed was one run, and ends up getting some big insurance there for Brad Keller. Cave, you know, you can't blame him. He's a good athlete. He tried to attack that ball, but just fell short. And that'll be a highlight for Drew Butera for years to come. And a curtain call on top of it. Didn't we say one good thing is all you need to do?
He put a few eggs in the basket with that one.
He did. I loved how he changed gears when he hit first base.
Looking for their first sweep of the year. Joel Goldberg out in left field, getting ready for Boulevard Royals Live, where we will talk about Brad Keller. What a day for him. And of course, Drew Butera with the inside the park home run. We'll definitely be looking at that and much more coming up on Boulevard Royals Live, including getting you ready for the Detroit Tigers. And how about Keller, guys? Ned Yost said before the game that he really expected a big one. He was onto something.
Well, Keller opened the game by retiring the first 10. And then a walk, a double, and a single for Minnesota in the 4th inning. And now Kepler hits one deep to right center field, and that is over the wall for a home run. So the inside the park home run is even bigger. But anyway, Keller gave up a walk, a double, a home run in the 4th, and he had retired 11 in a row before Kepler's homer. So it is 5-3 in the 8th inning.
Yep. 93. He caught it. And you got to give Kepler some credit. It was up. He just put a nice, easy swing on it. It's the first home run Keller's given up at home this year.
He had the longest active streak of innings without allowing a home run before that Kepler blast. No balls, 2 strikes. 63 and a third innings. Third longest by a Royals rookie. Kelvin Herrera and Yordano Ventura.
Pretty impressive. You know, not going to stand for a long time. This is the big leagues, man. These guys, they'll get a hold of one. Just a matter of time. But man, he really has spread out that record. That's good.
Timeout had been called. There's Tim Hill with Jake Cave, Joe Mauer, and Eddie Rosario coming up. Adrianza, by the way, is a switch hitter. But you have 3 left-hand batters coming up. Paul Molitor certainly could go to his bench, but it's lined up for Tim Hill. And it's still 1-2 on Adrianza. He has struck out twice today against Keller.
Adrianza, he's a solid shortstop. He started 55 of the Twins' last 63 games now at short. So he was their shortstop before Polanco came back.
It's a whole new ball game with RBI Baseball 18, which delivers an all new franchise mode and much more. RBI Baseball 18 is available now. Learn more at RBIGame.com. Rated E for everyone.
You know, that was an impressive inside the park home run, but what was even more impressive was that how Butera went in, put his gear back on, and was out there to catch every single pitch from Keller without even breathing heavy at all.
Get over. It's the first inside the park home run for the Royals in 3 years. Gerard Dyson had one in 2015. And if you're wondering about catchers, it's the first inside the park home run in 27 years.
Wow.
Brent Mayne had 2 inside the park home runs in 2 months.
No way.
Back in 1991.
Oh, that's amazing.
August and September of 91. Brent Mayne with 2 inside the park home runs.
Good nugget right there. That's a long time, Drew. Way to go.
And the count goes from 0-2 to 3-2 on Adrianza, and Keller cannot afford to walk him. And he's coming up on 100 pitches. He threw 70 pitches in his last start, and that was 9 days ago.
Come on, wants to finish strong. Couple deep breaths, a little walk around the back of the mound. Butera stepping in front of home plate, saying, "Come on, bring it." Wow, was right. Let's check out all the numbers and StatCast from the inside the park. That's a long one. Home to home. That's pretty good for Drew. Way to go. Kidding? Look at him cut the corner nice. Look at the trail he's leaving. That's a good line. Left hand lean, long way. Didn't look like he was running out of gas. Look at the people. Oh, man, the crowd loved it.
Look at Escobar. Escobar was like a little kid cheering him home.
Keller was stellar.
Pitched well last night. Keller goes 7+ innings. He only gives up 3 hits, 3 runs, and he departs with a runner at first base and nobody out. Join Fox Sports Kansas City at the Kansas City Marathon on Saturday, October 20th. Distance options include a 5K, 10K, a half and full marathon. All runners receive a shirt and finisher's medal along with free food and free beer after the race. So start your training and get registered at kcmarathon.org. Robbie Grossman comes off the bench to face Tim Hill, who throws a strike. Tim pitched 2/3 of an inning last night and got a big double play in the 8th inning.
If you can do that here, sure would make Ned Yost happy. Hill, he's got a sinking fastball, slider, and a changeup. Grossman, he's 2 for 14 off of the bench as a pinch hitter. He's got more pinch hit opportunities than any other Twin.
Royals just need to get 1 out here, and they do, barely. Adrianza moves up to second base.
Okay, this was a tester. Now Whitley's coming in, he's catching that ball right in line of the base runner. Of course, the runner was by him at the time. He went around him, and that's what you do if you're a runner. If you go through the there, you're going to have some interference if you go through the second baseman. But good job.
Joe Mauer with a runner at second and 1 out. Mauer in the first 2 games of the series was 5 out of 9 with a double. He is 0 for 3 today with 2 strikeouts, all of that against Keller. Oh and 2. He hangs in there against the lefties. You don't win 3 batting titles, even though it was a long time ago, unless you're balanced against righties and lefties.
Boy, I'll tell you, that's impressive. He's got better numbers against lefties. Not here. Look at Hill slowing down that breaking ball. That's nice. It seems to me the last few times we've seen Hill, he's really making some good adjustments. I think not only his angle is tough, but he's changing speeds better. That's an excellent location. Had him out front. He's not, you know, all the way down on the ground. He's not all the way, you know, 3/4. He's like in between, which is
literally sidearm. I mean,
yeah. He whips it in there.
Eddie Rosario is 0 for 2. He walked and scored in Minnesota's 2-run 4th inning. Well, it has been consistently inconsistent today, the strike zone. I think with both teams grateful and frustrated at the same time.
Make a pitch here. Sweep it away.
Back to Hill. He uses that long wingspan. And the crowd loves that. They are into this one.
Fantastic. Look at that play.
Woo! Matt Kemp, who has to be the National League Comeback Player of the Year. He was traded back to the Dodgers in what was thought of just a financial maneuvering and ended up making the team. He has 17 home runs, 2 home runs today. He was an all-star this year. Matt Kemp. Tim Hill getting pats on the back and handshakes after picking up Brad Keller and getting the Royals through the 8th inning. And now the Royals have 3 outs to go on defense to sweep Minnesota. They'll try and add on against Alan Busnitz in the bottom of the 8th. It'll be Bonifacio, Moustakas, and Perez. Robbie Grossman batted for Jake Cave, and he goes into the game in right field. And Max Kepler, who had been in right, shifts over to center.
No problem. Got the glasses. You'll need them. Busnitz. 92, 98, good hard fastball, curve overhand top, right over the top, occasional curve, or excuse me, changeups. He's a hard thrower. Look, fastball. 3-0, take, get on base. All right, now you're ready.
Three and two. Royals scored 2 runs off of Busnitz in game 1 on Friday night. Salvador Perez hit a 2-out, 2-run double against him, driving in Escobar and Moustakas. Good swing, still 3 and 2. Shallow right center, and it's Grossman, called off by Kepler. 1 out.
Hey, Royals fans, if you can't catch a game on TV, you can stream games live on your mobile device. Download the Fox Sports Go app, log in, and stream the Royals. Like a lot of you do. Those that don't, try it.
And for the first time in his big league career, Willie Peralta is going to pitch in 3 straight games. He will get Dozier, Escobar, and Morrison in the top of the 9th inning. Hey. 2-0 on Mike Moustakas. Three balls, 1 strike. The big hit today, which is now a national alert if you have the MLB app, the Drew Butera 3-run inside the park home run.
Nice.
Flashing up as an alert on my mobile device with the headline of Drew Butera did what?
Oh, way to go, Drew.
Still 3 and 2 on Moustakas.
I know you want to see it again. Here it is. Look at him, he just went with it. I mean, that ball, that's a lousy single. Oh, no. His teammates drew him up, and he didn't slow down at all.
Look at Escobar.
With the crowd.
No swing, and Moustakas is on with 1 out.
That was a thrill and a highlight for him.
Escobar, that was like a little league game, and you know, cheering him as.
Did you see how high he jumped?
Yeah. Watch Esky.
Gotta love that. It's 2 hops. That's 2 big hops. You know, the crowd is beautiful. They worked him up, worked all of us up. You'd have thought there was 40,000 here.
Esky, I think, arguably has the most famous inside the park home run in Royals history. Or maybe not arguably at all.
I enjoyed it. I know that. Me and Monty and Goldie were sitting up in a suite down the right field line, and I couldn't believe it. We were all jumping up and down as he was rounding second, heading to third. Game 1, first hitter of the World Series. Really? Don't get any better. Except for Alex Gordon's bomb he hit in the 14th inning. Awful familiar.
Twins will turn a double play, and we head to the 9th inning. Peralta's had one good night, one bad night. He'll go for the save again today. So you can. Drew Butera with his 3-run inside the park home run. And the Royals have a 5-3 lead to the top of the 9th inning. There's our Pepsi fan of the game out on the Pepsi porch. Probably wondering why Daddy was going bananas with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning during that inside the park home run. And he's probably spent all that time trying to reassure her that everything's all right.
Oh, without a doubt, Dad. Take care of her.
Willie Peralta on Friday night came on for the save and had to depart after 2 outs after giving up 3 runs, 2 hits, and he also walked 2. But he sure bounced back last night, a 1-2-3 9th inning with a strikeout. And for the first time in his big league career, he'll pitch in 3 consecutive games.
Okay, this will be a tester for him. And it's been a well-executed game by the other starting pitcher, Keller, Hill. Now on to Peralta here. Let's see if the Pin can win again.
It'll be Dozier, who's driven in a run, Escobar, and Morrison, who has driven in a run.
Fastball, slider, change. 3 good pitches. And last night, he got it done quickly. Got some early count outs. Didn't take long at all for him. If he can stay down in that strike zone.
Dozier, who is a dead pull hitter, doubled the other way in the 4th inning, driving in a run. In an area that was not defended, right center field. Two balls, 2 strikes. Dozier was at odds with home plate umpire John Tumpane when he was called out on strikes in the 6th inning on a pitch that appeared to be up and out of the strike zone.
Mid-90s fastball, little tick above it.
Shallow left. Escobar wants it. He's got it. Coming up on Tuesday in the Royals Tigers series, the first 10,000 fans will get a Ryan and Rex dish rag.
Hey,
sponsored by Coke Industries.
Partner, that's a T-shirt. Come on. Not a dish rag. And no one will use that as a dish rag. Maybe a dust cloth, but not a dish rag. That's a T-shirt.
I say that tongue in cheek. We are honored that the Royals would think of us in that regard.
We are. No
and as
question.
I said, I expect when I pull in at 3:20, 3:30 on Tuesday that there's going to be a line wrapped around Arrowhead.
I'm looking forward to it.
0-2 on Eduardo Escobar. He is 1 for 3.
Okay, quickly ahead. 0-2. Peralta looking good.
This time it'll be Moustakas. 2 down. The Royals are going for their first sweep of the season, their first sweep period in almost exactly a year. Today's copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Club. 0-1 on Logan Morrison. It was July 24th, 25th, and 26th last year at Detroit when the Royals last swept an opponent. They're going for their third, or rather their second, 3-game winning streak of the year. One ball, one strike. And the crowd has been awesome. That's a word that gets thrown around a lot, maybe too much. But they have been great in this 3-game series with Minnesota. 18,107 is the total, but it feels and sounds much bigger and louder than that.
Well, you got that right.
That fan brought his broom, ready for the sweep. 3 balls, 1 strike. So 1 pitch away from the potential tying run coming to the plate. And he will. And that potential tying run will be a pinch hitter, Jorge Polanco. And Polanco, we're talking about redemption, and Drew Butera got a second chance today. Polanco made 2 big outs last night. He was the one that grounded into the double play in the 8th inning against Tim Hill, with Minnesota trying to tie the game. He is a much, much better hitter from this side of the plate. And a breaking ball's in for strike 1. Polanco is batting for Mitch Garver. Oh, and 2. A sweep for the first time this year.
Man, oh man, was that exciting. Drew Butera, not just the inside the park homer, but the way you called the game, making or helping out bad Brad Keller today was really good. You controlled the game, Drew. I think you're my MVP, man. Nice job. Oh, the inside the Parker happened to be the game winner as well. Wow. First sweep in a year. They'll take it. Ned, great job, bud. Way to go. Keep it up.
Had it all today. Pitching, defense. 5 more runs. The Royals, they went well over a month. June 1st into early July, averaging just over 2 runs per game. But now, over their last 8, the Royals have averaged over 5 runs per game. Close games, too. The Royals won 6-5 on Friday, 4-2 last night, and now 5-3 this afternoon. And the biggest hit by far, the play that charged the crowd more than any other, was Drew Butera's inside the park home run. Take it away, Joel.
Well, how many players have no stolen bases but an inside the park home run? First inside the park, hold on. So I got to ask you this. That usually will take your breath away, the Gatorade bucket. How was the breath after the charge around the bases?
I still haven't caught my breath. I keep telling them to give me the green light when I'm at first, but they don't trust my speed.
Hey, you are the first Royal with an inside the park home run since the guy that said that's what speed do, Gerard Dyson. So how'd you feel running around the bases, flashing that speed?
I felt a little bit like him. You know, that one was out of my boy Dice. You know, that was great. It was, you know, we've been getting some timely hitting. Our pitcher's been great, so I'm glad I come up with a big hit and we get the sweep. I just texted your dad, former big league catcher. He's out scouting somewhere right now, so he hadn't seen the play yet. I said, did you ever have one? Your kid has wheels. He said flat tire. So something to add along with pitcher and catcher now inside the park home run. Just take us through that play though and what you see as you're rounding first. You know, I honestly thought it was going to be a single. I didn't think he was going to dive for it. And when he dove, I just want to make sure I got to third, and I hit third, and I saw Jerch waving me. I said, you got to be out of your mind. But it worked out, so.
And the energy here in this crowd, it certainly went to another level as you were rounding the bases, but really all series long. We know what a tough year it's been, but this has felt like a playoff type of crowd this weekend. How much has that helped you guys out?
This has been great. We feed off their energy, and we love playing here. The fans are second to none, so keep coming out, keep supporting us. We love you guys. Last thing, I typically would ask you as a catcher about your pitcher first, but the inside the park home run sort of stole the show. But how about the performance of the young kid, Brad Keller, who had struggled the last 2? It was a great bounce back start for him. You know, he attacked the zone, he got some early outs, made some pitches when he needed to, so it was a big start for him, and I'm glad to see him do well. How much will your teammates be hearing about this inside the park homer? Probably till tomorrow. Turn the page and let's start winning again. Enjoy the rest of this one, a 3-game sweep. Drew, great job. Thank you. There you go, Drew Butera. Who needs a stolen base when you could just round the bases with an inside the parker?
That's the thrill of the season so far, I think. And the Royals have won 3 in a row, 4 of 5, 5 of 8, and they win today 5-3.